The memories of being a Bobcat have not faded for Tony Franklin.
I got a lot less gray hair there and a little more twinkle in my eye with less wrinkles.
Franklin was born and raised in the hockey hotbed of Deloraine. As a member of the Southwest Cougars in the early days of the Manitoba AAA U18 League, Franklin and the Cougars were on the cusp of winning it all.
We had some good teams, and probably my fondest memory would be getting to the Manitoba final against the Winnipeg Saints, and we were unable to win the whole thing, but just to come within a game of beating the big city in Winnipeg was pretty special.
Franklin was recruited by coach Mark Arnett and joined the Bobcats for the start of the 1988-89 season. The transition for Franklin took time and effort.
Coming into this league in the Canada West at that time, you came up against University of Calgary and University of Alberta, and I was 18 years old, and a lot of these guys had played junior, and if they're in their 4th or 5th year of university, they were 24, 25 years old, and my first 2 years were a struggle. I just was a battle to keep my head above water.
In 91-92, Franklin was the Bobcats MVP and won the Jim Casey Award for sportsmanship. He also finished his career as a 2-time academic All-Canadian. His springboard into coaching came as an assistant in the Westman High School League with the Vincent Massey Vikings.
My first coaching experience was with another alumnus who had a much more prolific career than I did, and by the name of Pete Gerlinger. That was my very first experience actually on the bench. I did a little bit of assistant coaching with the university team, but actually being on the bench and coaching kids, that's what probably hooked me into coaching.
Franklin found his calling and reached the national stage as a coach for Team Manitoba on 2 occasions, including the 2011 Canada Winter Games.
I still have nightmares that we were up by 2 goals against Saskatchewan in the semifinal, and we went down 5-on-3 and gave up 2 and lost in a shootout, and it haunts me to this day.
Franklin was Port Manitoba Coach of the Year in 2009 and is the current Vice President of Hockey Manitoba. When not behind the bench, Franklin was in the classroom. His teaching career included a stop in Melita before returning home to Deloraine, where he has served as principal since 2010.
I still teach an hour a day, and I will admit that's the best part of my day, and greeting the kids in the morning. Sometimes the ghost of Brian Franklin, he was the principal there too, so sometimes that ghost haunts me a little bit because it's maybe a little scary how much I'm like him, or people will remind me like I'm like him.
Tony followed impressive footsteps, with his dad Brian recognized in 2021 with Hockey Canada's Order of Merit for dedicating 50 years to growing the game.
When you see that and you see how impressive that is, it gives me the energy and to try to do the same thing.
The once bright-eyed BU rookie has used the lessons learned as a Bobcat to become a lifelong mentor in his own right.
Probably the biggest was resilience and perseverance. And we were a small school, a small program, struggling to compete with the bigger schools, and it was tough to recruit players, and I think it was about hard work, learning to get through the tough times.